Well, here it is, Saturday noon. You'll have to be patient with me. I'm trying to give you a wiggly view of my table. It's been a while since I've done a tablescape, and this time I decided here it is, nearing the end of summer. I'd like something pleasant, a tea time sort of thing. It's been awfully hot this week. I went out, oh gosh, I don't know what day it was, Thursday I think it was, and as soon as I stepped outside, I said, oh my gosh, this is the hottest day we've had this summer. And you know, I was right. I checked the weather report the next day, and they said it had been the hottest day of the year, this year. So it was 94 degrees and it felt 100. So anyway, what you're looking at is my cherry table. It's one that has the leaf on each side that drops almost to the floor, so that when you open it out, you've got a table that can seat 6 or 8 people. It's very nice for me because I have so little room. I need all the space I can get, so I can drop the leaves down and leave the table right under my chandelier. I'll go up to that so you can see there's my chandelier. Looks pretty in this picture, doesn't it? Every now and then I get the notion I want to change it. But when I look at it like this, it's right nice. So I'll move back down. You see the picture on the wall that says Home Sweet Home? Jan did that for me. She was about 22 years old. I didn't think she would ever become a craft person, and I was totally shocked when she did this cross-stitch picture, and of course I've had it on the wall ever since. And the stand is holding my Fiesta-ware mixing bowls. Mixing bowls are hard to find. If you do find them, they're expensive. These are the original that date back to the 1930s. So now in my cabinet, that's nearly all Fiesta-ware, the original. And look to the right and see the plates on the wall. I really like that combination hanging on the wall. Of course, in the background, in the you see the reflection in the lower left of my window at the other end of the room. You can't tell much about it, but it's a huge window, and I made the balance for it years ago. It would be a pain in the neck to get it down and try to get it cleaned. It's got beautiful fringe on the edge of it, and I won't dare touch it. It'll stay there until I move or I die. So this gives you a little, as good as I can do with the Fiesta-ware cabinet. And on top are my roosters and other canisters and things. So on over, 2 little diamond-shaped pictures on the wall. My mother had these same pictures. They are the little, like the little Dutch boy and Dutch girl pictures, and I've always loved them. So they're there together. The chair in the corner holds my big pumpkin tureen. It's sitting there only because I can't reach the top of this cabinet, as you can see, right next to the ceiling. to put it back in place up there. So it sits in that chair all alone and will be there, and I'll have it ready when fall gets here. I won't have to worry about someone climbing to the top of the cabinet and getting it down for me. It stayed right here in this chair since last fall. Let's go to the table. I know you're anxious to see this. I'm sitting in a chair right now. If I get up, the camera's going to wiggle. It's wiggling anyway, but maybe you can bear with it just enough to see the things I've done. In the center of the table is my little porcelain bird cage. I've told you the story about that bird cage. I told you about the time I saw Route 66, and the lady was taking the boys through a boarding house, and sitting in the corner of a stairway was a table, and on that table was a porcelain bird cage just like mine. I nearly flipped out when I saw that. I couldn't believe that I would ever see that bird cage somewhere else. So it's been a treasure to me. I dropped it, broke it in I don't know how many pieces, but I refused to give it up, so I glued it all back together. It's worthless to anyone else, but it is a treasure to me. Now I'm going to move a little closer and see if I can give you a picture of I just bought those little salad plates at Home Good. They are glimmery, shiny, so pretty. I've got red ones just like them, and I couldn't resist, so I bought 4 of the little plates and figured I could work around them and add other things. Look at the little ceramic birds. Aren't they gorgeous? I wish I had a whole handful of those. I'm going to start over here. Take a look at my little teapot. You know what kind it is. It's a cup and saucer. Well, I moved the saucer to another place, but the cup's on the bottom, the teapot's on top. I found that at Home Good too, and yes, I had to bring it home with me. Now, I'm going to get up out of my chair, and you just be patient with me. We're going to go around the table. You're going to get a better look at the little plate and my Demetage cup and saucers. Let's turn to the end of the table. Yes, that's my hand shaking. But I want you to see this. See how pretty it is, how shimmery. And the little cup and saucer. Let me pick up the, don't you like that? I can't hold it still. See if I can get a look at the cup. This is ridiculous. I think I might as well stop. But I'm going to carry it around and see if we can't look at a few more pieces. It's the way I'm holding it that's causing it to wiggle. These are my little spoons. A friend gave those to me for my birthday a year and a half ago. Notice the little glass. That's one of my new Astoria glasses with a, what do you call the drink? Left my mind just then. That's it in the bottle where you can pour more into the glasses. That's what I've got. And the strawberry is in one of my new Fostoria dishes. That's called the little almond nut dish. I put a little flower petal next to it. and my turquoise candles that I just happen to have. All right, we're on the back side. This is one of 2 oil lamps. I don't have oil in them so that I can light them, but they make such a pretty decoration that I wanted to use them. You've seen this teapot before. This is the one that came off of the Queen Elizabeth II cruise ship. And it was just the right size for sitting beside a single place setting. Oh, of course, there's my little frog. I always have to use my frogs, but I just love this. I think this is so pretty. And on around, another little teapot, just for 1 or 2 persons. So you got the silverware, it's silver plate. I think this is a set that my sister gave me. I think it was something she got when she got married in 1952. A few red strawberries, and they taste pretty good. I sampled them before I put them in the dish. But this is just to add a little color to the table. We're considering this a tea for 2. If I open out the leaves, we can add 2 more plates, and it'll be tea for 4. I'm about to stumble over my chairs. There again, oh, another frog. I also used a long table runner. I bought that at Home Goods too. It will go the length of an 8-foot table. So I think you can get an idea of how pretty. And the little plates on the side are from a set of china I bought at an estate sale. They're beautiful dishes. I rarely get a chance to display them in the manner that they should be. I'm going to go on around. We're going to get back to where we started from. Yeah, you see my little frog. I want more birds. I'm going to start looking for the birds. Friend gave me those birds. She mailed them to me, and I was just thrilled when I saw them. And I thought, how did she know that I really liked the birds? Well, she didn't know, but she knows it now. And there's a little bird inside my bird cage. I have to be very careful with that bird cage because I don't want to take a chance on breaking it a second time. Now I'm going to just sit down again and we're going to talk. I'll just hold this as still as I can. Now you just have to kind of bear with me, but you can zoom this out. And you see I had 3 teapots on the table. The one over to the right behind the candle. The one in the center, the white one. And of course the one on the left end, which I just bought at Home Goods. I like to do this kind of decorating. I wish I had more room, and if I did, I'd be doing a lot of decorating. But this gives you an idea of the kind of thing I do with my collections. Now, while I'm focusing on the table, I want to tell you about an affair that's going to take place this Wednesday. You know, I live at Hanover Towers in Lexington, Kentucky. They have just advertised open house for the 60th anniversary of the condominium. Open house will be this coming Wednesday, September the 4th, and it begins at 6 p.m. Everyone is invited to take a tour of the condominium. There will be certain condominiums that will be open to the public to see, and I'm going to tell you this: you will want to see them. Some of these people have beautiful decoration. Their homes they're just lovely, and many of them do decorate in the Victorian vintage era. That pleases me because that's what I like. Now, they had this open house once before, 10 years ago, for the 50th anniversary, and I think there were about 6 condominiums on display. You could go through and just view the room one by one to see the size, how they were decorated, and of course these are individually owned condominiums. I'm really looking forward to it this week. And the reason I'm telling you about it is, if you happen to live in Lexington or you live nearby and you want to meet me, I'm going to be somewhere in the building. I'm going to be on the tour just like everybody else because I want to see what the other condos look like. In other words, it's going to make me real jealous when I see the beauty of the furniture and the thing that the owners have used for their decoration. So put that on your calendar for this Wednesday, 6 p.m. The thing I need to tell you also is parking will be limited. You may have a hard time finding a parking place, but if you're on Hanover Avenue, it divided by median. Traffic goes to the right, and you come back up the other side of the median, and you can park on the street there, hopefully, if there aren't too many parking places taken. Most of the parking places inside the parking lot for the condominium are taken by residents. And if you're here early, you might be able to get a parking place there. But don't let that stop you. You can even go to the street behind Hanover Towers. That's Ashland Avenue, and you can park on that street. It'd just be like a half a block's walk. I am giving you this information because they have already advertised the open house. So I felt that I was free to let you know, as my friends, that you are also welcome to visit Hanover Towers condominium. And you just look around. You'll recognize me if I'm in the lobby because I will actually be going through the 9 floors. There are 9 floors and 12 units on each floor, but they won't all be open, just a few. They'll give you a list of the condominiums that you can visit and see the beautiful decoration. The people here really do a good job, and I envy some of them their furniture. So put that on your calendar for this week. Wednesday, 6 p.m., Hanover Towers at the corner of South Hanover and Main Street. You can't miss it. Big, tall building, and got a fountain out front with the big concrete cherubs, and the fountain will be flowing. So there's no doubt you can find Hanover Towers. And I'm anxious to see how many of my friends show up. Daniel, I hope you will come. And I know there's some ladies I've already met that live here in Lexington. I'm hoping they read this or watch this, and they too will be at the open house. I can think of 2 or 3 others that would come as well. And I want, that way you get to see where I live. And you'll have an idea when I'm telling my stories. You'll have it in the back of your mind. You can see some of the things that I talk about. And I'm looking forward to that evening just because it's kind of like I'm getting to have my own party, but someone else is conducting it. I don't think they'll mind if my friends show up to meet me as well as to see the condominiums themselves, and to know that this is the 60th anniversary of the building. So this is going to be a short video. I don't have anything else to tell you right now. Jan just called me. She's discovered an estate sale today, and she's on her way there to see what jewels she might come across that she can purchase for her booth at Feather Your Nest Antique Shop. Well, I was going to say something else and I already forgot it. That's how it is when you get my age. You start to say something. Oh, and by the way, I couldn't remember the name. See the little glass right in the center that looks like it is filled with something? That's what you call a cordial. It slipped my mind when I was showing it to you at the beginning. And you see the bottles to the left. That is the cordial that you can refill. And I like to eat in places where they provide the cordial. And there is one restaurant, wonderful place called the Glitz. And when you eat at the Glitz, you will get a cordial. And they're good. So, look at my 2 little birds. Thank you, Bonnie. And let's focus on this little teapot. I like it so well. Right there. That's about as good as I can do. That gives you an overall look of the things I've used on this table. And I made it a very small table because I didn't want to have to put out so much china and glasses and so forth and so on. This is just a sample of the way I decorate a table. It looks a little heavy, but that's because I'm limited with space. And I want you to see all of these things. We'll go back up to, my china cabinet and to my chandelier. And I'm going to leave you here.